All right. Duddy B, what's going on, man?
What's up, brother?
Chilling, man. Welcome to the Tales Pod. It's been
Yes.
been a long time coming.
Yeah, man. Stoked to finally be here. It hasn't been released yet, but a lot of fun having you on the, Feeling Good with Duddy the other day. That was an awesome show. I can't wait for people to hear it. They're going to love it.
We told some ridiculous stories. Yeah, that was a fun time. Thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and you did it from the bunker.
The bunker. I was going to go to the bunker this morning, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to do it in my backyard.
Great.
I'm just waiting for my kids to come out here and be like, Dad, what are you doing?
I told my kids, like, stay upstairs. Don't bother me. Don't bug me. Yeah. Nice backyard.
Thanks. Working on it. It's a work in progress. Yeah.
I like the hedges.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm trying to let it go the whole way.
That looks rad.
Over here, it's already boom.
Oh,
so
nice.
I'm trying to get it to go the whole length, Boom. Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Greenery.
Yeah, love the greenery.
It's also just a highway. It's also just a highway for rodents. You got that much vines I've learned, dude. My cat will bring me dead rodents like on the regular.
And yeah, we talked about this. He's you met a family of possums that he keeps murdering.
Dude, this fucking cat. 3 mornings in a row, I woke up with a dead baby possum in my backyard, right now. My cat's gifts. He obviously found a little nest. They just had babies. Every night he would just go get an. Oh no, am I freezing up?
Yeah, you're freezing up.
Shit. Let me get inside.
All right.
Let me get closer to this internet.
All right.
This is why I go to the bunker.
Sorry, everyone. We're adjusting to the
times.
I
go to the bunker. Yeah.
So we had a nice view
How's
of
that? Yeah.
There we go.
Is that any better?
Yeah. Hopefully the screen clears up here.
Oh shit!
You're not cutting out like you were, so that's good. Live television.
Okay, good. Dude, I should have gone to the bunker.
Well, I mean, it seems to be better now.
Okay, cool.
Awesome. So, your cat keeps bringing a family of dead possums to you as a gift.
Yeah. So obviously he found a nest of freshly born possum babies, and every night he would just go out, and in the morning we get a nice dead baby possum sitting at our back door. And I also learned, unfortunately, that baby possums are fucking adorable. So I got to throw away adorable dead baby possums every morning.
Oh, that's like it hurts the heart.
Dude, it's like, if you're watching this, go look up baby possums. You're going to be like, holy shit, that's fucking adorable. And then think about them dead. That's my morning.
Yeah, that's a bummer for sure. Oh man, so what's been going on, man? I caught I got to catch up with you guys at the Roman Duddy show in Annapolis, and unfortunately, you guys had to cancel the tour. No one could have predicted this shit was going to happen, right?
Right.
And you guys had a nice thing going. You said that I caught like one of the more raw shows, but I really enjoyed it. Like I thought it was. You guys told like really great stories, like you and Rome both, and Micah crushed it. That
dude, are you kidding me? That guy is insane. Like every time, even just sitting like backstage with him, he'll just grab a guitar and just like really quick just do something, and I'm just like, I have to practice.
Quit. I'm done.
He's so good, man.
Yeah,
and he's just the fucking nicest, coolest dude. You're just like, good man.
Yeah. So you guys had a good thing going, man. I was stoked to see that it was happening, and I'm really glad I caught the set. And I don't know, I could see why everybody was having a great time. The place was packed out, and it felt like a bar show, but in like the best way possible.
Totally.
You guys, it seemed you guys were very connected to the crowd, and it didn't it didn't have to me, it doesn't have to seem so pro and shit all the time, because you guys have that in the summer and the rest of the year, you know, with the bands, you know.
Yeah.
And I feel like something like that is more intimate, and the crowd appreciates it even more, I think, because I mean, you're right there in front of them and you're engaging, and it's great.
Yeah, I mean, you're totally right. And it's we had no idea what to expect. I mean, when that whole tour was even brought up, like it was supposed to be like 5 or 6 shows just up the West Coast, smaller venues. We were like, sure, you know, and it just started growing and growing. And then you know, some of the shows were in like these big theaters, you know, and then, but then like the show you went, some of the shows were just these little kind of bar, like that one was almost like a restaurant. The
Yeah.
one you were at, it was just, everyone was just sitting down. And then what's crazy is they're just like 5 feet from you at like the same level too, like right there. So you're just like looking at them, and there's no hiding behind, like you said, like this huge production and lights. And I usually have Jared, who's just kind of running the show for me, so I get to kind of stay back, and that's kind of where I like it, you know. So to be up there all by yourself, but like yeah, it was great because like you said, man, like all the huge production and all that, they've seen that, and it's fun, and they'll see that again. But it's a different show, and the people that are going to that acoustic show, they've probably seen our big production show. That's why they're at the acoustic show, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just giving them a different look. And then with the storytelling, yeah, you know, our manager Cheese, he also manages Travis Tritt, the country singer, and he does an acoustic show as well, and his storytelling is so amazing. And that's kind of really like where me and Rome got that idea. We're like, this shouldn't just be like us going up there and just playing songs. Like this should be an intimate, talking to the crowd, half stories, half songs, you know. And that's kind of what we were trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, it was very entertaining, you know, and like you had said, it was like it was more of the raw kind of night. Like I can see how like I played that room like a couple months before you did with Eric.
Oh, nice.
Funny.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and it was the same. I felt the same. It was like very intimidating. It was like, yeah, it's like right there. They're right there. They could touch my shoes. You know what I'm saying?
They're like eating.
Yeah. They're like eating dinner, and it was very strange, but it ended up being one of the more fun shows on the tour.
Totally.
Probably for that reason, you know, because you had said something about like stepping outside your comfort zone, and that's that night, and it was very much the same way. And it's like, but that's what you got to do. You drove that point a few times that night throughout your set, saying how like you got to put yourself out there and really fuck everybody, just do it, you know.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to live by that for years, you know, and even more so lately. I didn't even I wanted to start a podcast, but I was like thinking like, who the hell wants to listen to me talk for about, you know, or whatever, for an hour or whatever. And
yeah,
who's really going to want to listen to that? And what are people going to say? What are people going to think? Like, look at this guy. But then you just get over it. And you're like, fuck that. I'm just going to do it because I want to do it.
And you know what? The people who don't want to listen won't.
Yeah.
But the people who are listening want to be listening, you know. That's it. You're not gonna everything you do can't be for everyone. It's just for the people who are enjoying it, you know.
Yeah. And it's people ask a lot. I get a lot of messages about it, you know, about people trying to get motivated to do stuff, and I'm like, well, just do it, you know. Just do it. It's so important. It's
so true, man. And I talked about that too on a few episodes back, where it was like you said, like, well, what would they think, or they're not going to like it, or why would they? And I got back to thinking of like how many songs I've written in the past that I never showed anyone, because in my head I'm like, oh, that they're going to think that's lame. And I'm talking about like my own band members, you know, like, oh, they're gonna. And you look back and you're like, God, some of those were pretty rad. Some of them, yeah, they probably would have been like, dude, that's terrible. But you know, it's like, but what's the point? I should have at least just showed them all of them, and then who knows, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I've been shut down a couple times. You know, I'll write songs and we'll get in the booth, and the guys haven't heard the lyrics yet, you know, and I just start singing, and they're just like, this is fucking whack, you know? Dude,
all the time.
A couple times, and I get like, I fume about it, man. I'm like, you're attacking my art, you know.
You don't know me.
Yeah, it's one thing when it's like people on the outside, like fans or whatever, that are like maybe like, this isn't that great or whatever when they're criticizing it. But when it's your own family, your own bandmates that are telling you that stuff, it just hurts even more. I think
Totally.
hurts the pride. And
Oh
I
man.
saw Greg Shields. He's in the chat right now, but he's
I don't
helping
see the chat. That's
out. You don't see the
oh,
chat?
I was in private chat. Now I see I'm in the live chat. I see this is my first time on this thing. I really like it though. It's dope.
Yeah, it's neat. I'm gonna bring some people. If you got some questions for Duddy, man, like throw them out. We'll bring him in later. But yeah, I saw Greg in here floating around and from Cashed Out. Love that guy. He's helped me out with a lot of lyrics in the past. Like we co-written a lot of songs together. And
Nice.
and one of them was Ross Vader. It's a track from our girls record. And when I had written it, I had the music for a couple of years, and all I could think of in my head was like, this is kind of a party song. I was in my head. It was like, we're at a party. It's like people driving cars into the pool. Everybody's taking their shirts off. You know, it's that kind of party. You know, I mean, I'm trying to set up like a really rad scene.
Yeah, yeah.
And I start singing about it, and the band's just like, shit's whack. And I got pissed off. And Greg was there. We had flown him out to Sonic Ranch to kind of help out.
Oh,
So I
that's a
only had
good
about
spot.
half the record written, you know, as far as lyrics. I was just like, you do it. And I just like left. And the next day, he came, he had a whole song full of lyrics. And it was a completely different vibe. It was about like, kind of like how humans need to treat the earth better and stuff like that. And I wouldn't really write stuff like that. It
Yeah.
turned out to be a really rad song and people really enjoy it. But anyway, so thanks, Greg, for that. But yeah, so you feel that every now and then. It's like even with your own bandmates, you know, and it's the chance you take. You have to just go for it and put yourself out there. And if it doesn't work, you know, you adjust, you assess, you adjust, and you go back.
Dude, it's so true. And it's like you're never gonna, and it's just we always talk about, it's like every time you go in the studio, you're not gonna write a hit, you know. It's like you're gonna write some pretty wacky shit in between, you know, but while doing that, you're gonna come across some good stuff. And one of Jared's favorite things he always laughs at me about, because I'll hit him up and be like, hey, you're either gonna love this or you're gonna fucking hate this, you know. And he's just like, yes, I can't wait. What is it, you know? And we go back to one of the first we were writing. This line is so ridiculous, and we laugh about it all the time. And this was we were writing Any Port in a Storm. We hadn't even ever really put out like an album really yet, you know. And this was the first time I'm like, dude, this is either really good or really bad. I need you to let me know. And my line was smooth grooves and attitude. Smooth grooves and attitude. He fucking fell on the ground laughing, and he was like, you absolutely cannot say that. And I was like, you're right.
Can you please can you make that the next Duddy solo record? Dude, that's the title.
Smooth grooves and attitude.
Oh my God, please. Oh, dude, don't let that die, man. Use that somewhere.
I'm gonna get that tattooed on my face.
On your lower back, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God. That's amazing. So do you find that that Jared is a good barometer for what is gonna be like dope, you know, like what you guys are gonna use for the Dirty Head stuff?
Yeah, you know, I'm very old school, you know, like I'm rarely like digging for new music. I'm still listening to like old school music and shit, you know, and I don't really like know what's new in fashion, and like I'm not that guy, but Jared's like very on to what's new and what's hip and what people are doing and stuff. So yeah, it's definitely nice to have that in there, because you know, I'll bring something to the table sometimes and be like, dude, that's so outdated. You know, like, and then he'll show me some newer shit. I'm like, all right, I get it. So yeah, he definitely is a nice barometer of kind of like what the kids are into these days.
Right. Now, when you guys write a song, I kind of came to a realization over the last year or so that like there's so much pressure when you're trying to, you know, write that song. You know, I imagine like, you know, there may have been attempts to sort of recreate the magic of Lay Me Down, which, you know, I've done that as well. Like I'll be like, man, that was really cool. Like, what if something similar or something kind of the same kind of sound? Like, will it be the same effect? And there's a lot of factors that go into that when a song pops. But I started really thinking about the last year or so. Is like, I'm just gonna stop trying to write that song. Like, it just gets shit gets so much easier, you know, when you're like not trying to like craft the hit or something, you know, because, and that's not to say that I don't put my best foot forward when I write a song,
Mm.
but my expectations aren't, they're like manageable, you know. And so when you guys get together and are writing songs together, is it like, what's the mentality? Or I mean, you just writing cool shit that you want to hear and you don't
Yeah,
really care what people
that's
think?
I mean, honestly, we've from day one, like our pet fucking peeve when we're in the studio is like, because we really like to like try and write with different people, different producers and whatever. We just, and honestly, it's like 90% of the time it doesn't work, you know. But we've found a couple gems in there while doing that. Like we still write by ourselves a lot and just with our band, but every time we are in the writing process, we try to go out and write with new people and just to get new ideas and stay fresh. And it's like, some of these people, man, it's like the first thing they're like, all right, man, let's listen to like a couple of like the #1 singles right now. And like, let's just try and remake those. Or it's just instantly like, we got to get a #1 hit. It's got to be a single, you know, and you're just like, oh,
Yeah.
it just takes all the vibe away. It takes all the fuck enjoyment of it away from me. It's like, we're, like you said, we honestly, when we're writing songs, it just has to sound cool to us. That's all we care about. At the end of the day, if when we're listening to it, we're like, this is dope, good.
Yeah.
I don't care if I don't want to be like, I'm not really into it, but it could be like a single, you know, like that's the last thing I want to do.
Right. Yeah, I feel like you know, every band has their sound, and you guys are really you guys are really spread it out. Like you guys acoustic and um the self-titled was like, not the self-titled, which one was like super like hip hop driven, like Medusa and all that.
That was Sound of Change.
Sound of Change, that's right, that's right.
Yeah.
Um that came out and it was like, whoa, but it was cool, you know, it was a good thing. And it was interesting to wrap my brain around it. And there's some fucking bangers on that record.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that it's like no matter what you do, you sound like Dirty Heads. You just like, no matter what we do, we sound like Ballyhoo, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes a thing of like a personal brand in a way. It's like, as long as you're staying true to what you like and what you're into and the things that you would like to hear, you know, you know, it's like your fans are gonna like that as well. It's like, because it's you know what I'm saying? Like they
Yeah.
just know your sound, and there's something familiar about it. So when you can put that behind you, like the whole like, I am not gonna try to write a hit. I'm just gonna write cool shit.
Yeah.
I think it goes a lot further, and I think the fans appreciate it more. You
Well,
know,
it's real, you know, it's like it's very easy to see someone who's just trying to be famous or just trying to make money.
right?
And then you see the guy who you're like, no, that's just a musician. That
Yeah,
guy just, he loves music. He loves what he's playing. He's feeling it. He's in that zone right there and he's killing it, you know, like you could see that. Or you see the dude, like I said, you're just like, oh, you're just like, you're faking it to make it, you know?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was definitely that pressure. We had a we had a song hit the radio in 2012, and it was a big year for us. It was like Warped Tour, and there was all kinds of things going on. And Daydreams hadn't been out a year yet. It was about 9 months into the cycle,
Yeah.
and we hit the summer, and it was Warped Tour, and we sold so many copies of that record. And we got a song called Last Night on the radio, and it was punk rock kind of. People compared it to like Panic at the Disco, sort of meets Sublime or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, all right, whatever, that's cool. And it did really well, and we got like 6 ads on like legit stations, and then a bunch of like plays and yeah, college and specialty and all that.
Totally.
And the guy we had doing our stuff, Brett Greenberg, was just amazing. He's a great radio guy to have on your side. He works with Epitaph now, but he did some work, and you know, his relationships and stuff worked out for the band, and things popped. So we thought like, oh, okay, there's like really something for this. So we felt like this sort of pressure to sort of like match what we had done, and then it's like, as soon as when 2013 came along, it was like, I say it in one of my new songs on the solo record, but suddenly it wasn't cool to play guitar in a rock song. Like it was just gone like that. Like all of a sudden it's dance music,
Totally.
and like guitars aren't a thing, and heavy guitars, you know, unless you're like on a, you know, butt rock, active rock, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, And it was just all of a sudden it was like, and there were certain music directors that still love the band, and they tried to play us, but like the higher ups just wouldn't let it happen, and it kind of fizzled out. So, and then we were just like, what do we do? Like, we kind of felt like, do we keep pursuing trying to do the radio stuff? We were trying radio campaigns up until a couple of years ago, and eventually we just stopped. I'm like, man, let's just stop. We're spending all this money, and I don't feel like trying to write the hit anymore. Are we going on a tour of your house now?
No, sorry, I'm just trying to get somewhere with a little more light.
That's okay. This does look better. We it's just that pressure goes away, and then I can just write cool shit again and not have to worry about that.
Totally.
But so
no, I feel you, man. It's nice to just write what you want to write and enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you turn up your input a little bit? Your gain?
Is that better?
Yeah, it's better.
Sweet.
Cool. So dude, tell me about when the band started. Like, I heard this story a little bit at the show that last month, but
yeah,
tell me what's up.
I mean, honestly, it was just me and Jared would just sit in my room or my garage, whatever, and we would just write these silly raps pretty much, and I would just play like a lick, and I'd play one lick because I didn't know two. and we would just write these silly raps, over and over. And a lot of times it was just kind of like making fun of each other or whatever it was. And we did that for a bit, and we were just having a good time with it. And we would have other friends that would come and write, and that's what we did. We'd all just sit there and write raps and just kind of joke around and drink and smoke or whatever. And then it got to the point where I remember I was like, God, Jared's actually like really good at rapping. Like, it's not like, yeah, it's just funny and we're joking, but you're like, every time you're like, God, that's actually pretty good, Yeah. And I remember when I was like, let's try and write like, it's like an actual, let's like write a song, like not trying to be dorks. And we wrote like Antelope, and we showed some of our friends, and that
was your first song together?
That was like our first song, like Antelope, like
awesome song.
Yeah. And we showed some people, and they were all like, fuck, that's really cool. Like, I haven't heard something like that, and then we were like, all right. And then we wrote I Got No Time. So we had like those two. And then we just, started showing our friends and family, and everyone was just like, God, that's actually really cool. It's, I wanted to laugh at you, but that's actually pretty cool, And then we started doing the little local open mics and coffee shops and little bars and whatnot. And just, John came in and started playing percussion with us. John was percussion player for my brother's band, Surround Sound, at the time. And yeah, man, just little by little, we started growing this community, and then we recorded like a 5-song EP and just started passing them out at the little shows and whatnot. And one of those got in the hands of Cheese, who was our manager, and he hit us up and was like, fuck, I want to manage you guys. And it was just all kind of like, wait, what? It happened very organically and kind of, raw, and it just kind of happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, dude, I mean, what a killer first song. Like
yeah.
When I first heard it, I was like, man, this is cool as shit. This is so like different, and John's killing all the hand drums.
Oh, dude,
it really drives it.
It's crazy, man. Like, he's so good. It's pretty special to watch like an actual percussion player,
Right.
It's like a lot of percussion players I've seen, and not trying to hate or nothing, but I feel like they're just drummers, and that band they're in already had a drummer. So they're like, well, you can play percussion, and they're like, yeah, I can keep a beat, like, and it's not terrible, but you're like, yeah, but that a percussion player is different than a drummer. And it's like, God, to some of the shit John does, like, we've had to randomly throughout the years, like, play a few shows without John, like last summer tour, 2 summer tours ago, his father passed away during the tour. Mm-hmm. So he had to head home, and he missed like 3 or 4 shows. And when he's not there, oh my, you're just like, oh, it's so empty. Ew. Like, where's all the fun stuff? Like, he fills in all those holes so well,
Yeah. Yeah. Damn. Yeah. I know the feeling. We run tracks on a lot of songs, it's, and so like when something goes wrong, when it always does, more often than not, there's always a problem. But, and Donald has to cut the track out. It's like, what happened?
Oh my God. Oh, totally. Like,
we're just like a band now. It's weird.
right? It's yeah, like obviously we played at tracks as well, you know, because we got all sorts of shit going on, like horns and crap. It's like we don't have a horn player,
Same.
you know. So it's like, yeah, and to a click, you know. So you got to be on a click track, so that to play it with backing tracks, you got to be on a click track.
Yep.
And dude, sometimes random crap will go on, and you'll start that song, and the click will just be like off time or something, and you're just like, oh, and immediately Matt just blink, no tracks, and you're just playing, like you said, the whole song, and you're just like, and it's funny too, because like most of the time, seems like no one notices.
Yeah.
But you on stage, you're just like, I'm naked. Oh.
Yeah. I know. I'm missing it. You know, there's like all these cool layers and stuff too.
Totally. It adds all the fun. It's all the tasties.
Yeah. All the stuff, for sure. So, did you guys work with Rob Cavallo on that record?
We did. Well, not the full album, Any Port in a Storm, just Sails to the Wind, which was like the first like EP-ish we put out with Warner. But what happened with that is Warner Brothers was the first label that signed us.
Okay.
And we never actually put any music out with them. We were recording that first album, and right when we were recording that first album, Any Port in a Storm, is kind of when the music industry just took a shit. It's when all the like Napster and the downloading and, you know, no one was buying albums anymore. Like that was all going. So all these record labels were just tanking, you know, because the record labels make their money off record sales. Yeah. The bands make their money off touring and shit. So the bands are still making money touring, but the record labels aren't making no fucking money because no one's buying albums.
Freaking out.
So they didn't drop us, but they just weren't doing anything with us. And we had all this music we were recording, and you could tell they just didn't want to put any money into us. They were scared, but we were like young and like we wanted to just go. And a really cool thing they did is like we had a meeting with them, and we were like, look, like we get what's happening here. Like we see the industry's falling apart. Like, and you guys, they had at the time like a few big ass bands, and it's like you're going to put all your effort into them right now, like Green Day and Avenged Sevenfold and things like that. And we're like, can we just go? Can we just like go? But can we have the album that we recorded? And they paid for all the recording and everything. And they were like, sure.
That's amazing.
They're like, go ahead, man. So they just let us walk, and they let us keep all the music we recorded that they had paid for, everything. Wow. So it was pretty cool that they did that. And then, you know, from there, we found like another indie label, and we recorded we finished the full length Any Port in a Storm and put it out. So yeah.
Damn, man. They let you keep the record.
Let us keep the record, and didn't ask for anything. No points, no, you know, percentage, nothing. Just kind of like, we get it. We're sorry. Good luck.
Yeah. Damn. So you guys own the record.
Yep.
And
100%.
And then so what that was like, did that come out in 2008 or something like that?
Oh no, I think it was earlier than that. I want to say like 2006. Maybe even earlier. I don't know, but yeah, somewhere around there.
Because you guys were working that for a while. Any Port in a Storm.
We toured off Any Port in a Storm for like 4 years.
Yeah. So, damn. So you guys move on. You get to keep the record that you didn't have to pay for, and has amazing production on it. Like it sounds awesome, and the songs are great. And then, you know, you repackage it with Lay Me Down once that pops, and then all of a sudden you've got this big record that you didn't pay for, and it's just like, I mean, I wonder whoever at Warner saw that. There's like, holy shit, man.
Ooh. Well, it was wild, man, because like you said, we had to repackage the album to put Lay Me Down on, because Lay Me Down wasn't even when that song first got spun on the radio, it wasn't even mixed, it wasn't mastered, it was just a demo. It wasn't even supposed to be there. It was like an accidental situation where that demo that we had sent our manager accidentally got dragged onto a CD that they were taken to a meeting at K-Rock. K-Rock wanted to listen to like 3 songs off of Any Port in a Storm and maybe choose one to play on the radio. And it was going to be like Stand Tall and like Believe and like Chelsea or something like that. Those were like the three they wanted to maybe play. And when Cheese went there to have the meeting, somehow that demo of Lay Me Down got onto that demo CD. And when they played it, the first song that played for K-Rock was Lay Me Down. And they were like, we love it. We're going to play it right now. Bink. And then that was it.
Wow. And it was like the song of the summer, right? It was like 11 weeks or something at Alternative, number
something
one.
like that. Yeah, it broke like 2 records, and I think it still holds them. It was the longest reign, number one for a rock song, and then a number one reign for alternative for an indie band at number one ever. It was just like, what? Yeah.
That's amazing, man. That's
pretty crazy. Yeah. And then we've never done that again since. So it seems so easy. It was like, oh, that's our first one. It's number one. We're the best.
That's what we gotta do. That's great. Let's see.
Very hard.
Yeah. No, it's not easy. That's for sure. Jason Tudor says, "Check the Level's another dope song with some good meaning to it." What is the meaning of Check the Level? What's that song about?
That one was actually Jared had this idea for like, kind of like the kids in school that, maybe weren't the cool kids or maybe a little awkward, but like, they had all this passion and drive inside. And as they get older, they let that out and they become to do like great things and like, kind of like show everyone like, almost don't judge a book by its cover, like kind of thing. Yeah.
That's what I feel like.
Yeah.
That's great, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. That's a fun one.
That one of my favorites from that record, Hip Hop Misfits. So sick,
dude. That was another one too. That was Jared, idea. Obviously, I just play some acoustic on that, like a little bit. That song's a hip hop song, and that was one where I remember I like left early the night before. I was tired, so I left the studio session early, and I came back the next morning, and they're like, "Dude, look at this song we did last night," and they showed me. It was just like a verse. It was just like the beat and a verse. And I was just like, what the fuck? And they were like, all right, well, you got to write, a second verse for it. And I was like, no, this is a Jared song. Like, let him crush this. I will stand in the background gladly.
Yeah, I remember the first time I heard that. We did a tour together in the end of 2008. We finally got together for like 3 or 4 weeks or something like that. I think it was like November, December.
Yeah.
And we were playing these little tiny bars and just, I remember Profit Bar in Dallas. We had 8 people
man.
show up.
Oh yeah.
And I remember just sitting at the bar and just getting drunk with everybody.
I'm pretty sure you were on this show with us as well. And I want to say it was like one of the Carolinas, South or North Carolina, and it was a little tiny, like almost like a tiki huttish bar, and there was 3 people there. And do you remember the 3 people? One was a like humongous chick, right? And then the other one was a little person, a lady, like a girl, a little person girl, and then the other one, and they were all 3 together. This was a crew. And then the other one was like a 70-pound, just methed out chick, just smoking cigarette the whole time. So, and they were just hammered, and they weren't there to see us. They were just there to sit at the bar. And I remember it was a live stream thing. Do you remember this?
Oh my God.
I thought it was you guys that were there, but maybe not. But we played this show to 3 people, and then the little person got so hammered during our set that she fell backwards off her stool in the bar. And
I do remember this.
Okay, good. And then she's like on her back like a turtle. She can't get up because she's freaking hammered. And she's like, and the bartender like walks around the bar and he's trying to help. This is mid-set. We just stopped and we're just all laughing because there's nobody there. And she starts yelling at the bartender, like, don't touch me. You're just trying to fuck me. I'm like trying to not yell with my kids, but like, oh my God, it was one of the greatest things I've ever seen. So that was the crew. It was like this huge ass chick and then a little person and the methed out chick. And they came in together and that was the hangout crew. Like, it was like, oh my God.
Oh man, yeah, I want to say that was like South Carolina or
I
something,
think it was South
Raleigh
Carolina.
Beach or something, or
Yeah,
something
it
like
was
that.
just a little like middle of nowhere place, but fuck, we had a good time. We
Yeah,
made the best of it.
those are good times. Yeah, yeah, we played. I remember playing this place called Kefi with you guys. I was in North Carolina, in Wilmington, actually, UNC, and the the crowd like was so stoked to see you guys. I guess they had heard the stuff, Antelope and things like that, and they had it was just that was like I remember anytime we played there, it's like you get all these drunk college kids that are just right up on the front, and like all the dudes are just grinding on all the girls. Like it was just like straight up dirty dancing. Everybody's wasted. It's just such a fun you know a fun night. Just exciting.
Totally, man. I
Yeah,
do miss that a lot. Like the days of just playing like the little ass places with 10 people there.
yeah. The
And
shit show.
and then you right when you're done playing, you just go sit at the bar with those
Yeah,
10 people.
yeah.
And
You're just
like,
hanging out, having some drinks.
and you're usually just like hanging out with all the bands that are on tour with you, and you guys are all it's good times,
Yeah,
you know.
Christian Brandmeyer back there selling merch and tour managing. He's got the long
Yeah,
hair.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, those are good times, man.
yeah.
But yeah, I remember the first time I heard Hip Hop Misfits was when you guys did it live at one of those shows. And I was just like every night, just made sure I was there for it. 'Cause it was just like it just hit so hard, dude. It was
Yeah, that was
so dope.
the first one. I think that like really saw like that transition where we're like, oh, we can actually just like do this hip hop shit, you
Yeah,
know? Like before that, like our hip hop was like Antelope or I Got No Time or Believe, and like which are great songs. I love them. But like I think the Hip Hop Misfits was the first one we wrote, which mostly was Jared, but we were like, oh, wait a second. We don't have to be scared to go all in on this hip hop shit. Like
no, dude, Sound of Change was like
yeah.
loaded with 808s and
That's what. Well, Sound of Change. Honestly, when we went in to write that one, we kind of were like, dude, we need to write some bangers for the live set.
yeah,
Like, we need to step the live set up. So, like, one of the first tracks I think we wrote for Sound of Change was Burn Slow. And then we were kind of like, we could just go all in on this hip hop. And then, like you said, we just were like, 808s, big bass, let's go.
dude, when you come out and you do Medusa, and it's like, doom, doom,
Oh.
dude, your minds.
It's fun,
Such a
man.
great thing to see.
It is it's like I love nothing more than just like a mellow, soft acoustic song. Like, ooh, just like I could listen to that all day. But man, you hit me with some heavy ass 808. You're just like, it's a different feeling,
It really is, but it works for you guys. It's
Totally.
something that people came to know, and it's whenever you put out a new record, and it sounds different. Like
Mhm.
especially when it sounds different.
Oh
It's like
yeah.
you're like, okay, what are people gonna think about this? That's
Yes.
got to go through your mind.
Totally. I mean, that's kind of why we like named that one Sound of Change. Like we're warning you, this is very different.
Very different.
Um, uh, we kind of love it, man. To be honest, like we really and then we never go into a record like yes, with Sound of Change, we said we wanted to make some bangers, some bigger ones, but we didn't go in with an actual idea of what they should sound like.
Yeah.
We just were like, we need some more upbeat, some big stuff for the live show, and that's kind of what came out. So like, we're never really go in and go, let's write this type of stuff. We just start writing, and whatever comes out, and like once we kind of come across something that we're like, oh, that's dope, then we kind of like, okay, that's the vibe for this album, and then we'll kind of like go with that a little bit, but it's always different, and that's just how it is. Like it's like you said, like earlier when we were in the pod, we had so many different styles, but it always sounds like the Dirty Heads. You guys have different shit, but it always gonna sound like Ballyhoo. Like, and one of my favorite things growing up was the Beastie Boys, one of my favorite bands still. And that's what I loved about them, man. They had so many different styles. They had hard rock songs, they had like punk songs, they did like joke country songs. They had a full album that was just instrumental funk songs. And then they had their hip hop shit. But you give me one bar, I'm like Beastie Boys.
Yep.
Like, it doesn't matter. It's just like, no matter what they do, you're like, that's the Beastie Boys.
Yeah. There's a signature thing there. There's some
Yep.
fundamental. It's like in the DNA, no matter what they do, it's I even had, I wrote a song for Pacifier. and good friends of mine. And I
Yeah,
was
they're
like, "Yo,
good
let me write
dudes.
a song for you guys." They were like, "Yeah, yeah, that'd be cool." You know, they were down to try some different stuff, and I wrote a song for them. And I recorded it with my shit here. I got the Kemper, I got all just my tones, my guitar, everything.
Yeah,
Did a little vocal stuff on it, just kind of give an idea. Applied sort of my little bells and whistles that I do. And a few days, I hadn't heard anything. A few days, and I was like, "Yo, Ted, like, what's up?" And they were like, "It's really Ballyhoo."
yeah,
I was like, but I was
totally.
like, "All right, look, I get it, but like, just try to imagine you guys playing it with your gear and the way you do stuff, and you can
Yeah,
change shit. I'm not married to it. Just
yeah,
make it your own. Imagine covering this song, like, or just think about it that way."
yeah,
And like, it just, I guess it didn't gel with him or something. But like,
yeah.
I get it. It's like we all have our own
You
approach
got
to our
your own
sound.
things, man. Oh, totally,
You
totally. And
know,
I have to like catch myself sometimes too, because like I'll be like mid writing a verse, and I'll be like, I've said most of this like 5 times. I should probably restart this.
So what do you do? Do you use your voice notes and things like that
I'm
when you have
I'm
ideas?
a I'm a voice note guy for melody ideas.
Mhm.
Like if I come up with a melody, or sometimes I'll just like a line or something will come in my head, or even just a cool word. I'm like, oh, that's a dope word. I'll just say it into my notes. But honestly, when I start writing, like, okay, I'm actually going to knock these lyrics out right now. I don't write down one thing. I never
No.
have. I've never written a lyric down. I'll pace and I just go over it in my head until it's just like, and then it's just like, okay, I got it.
So you're Jay-Z.
That's what Jared always says, because Jared will be in the booth with papers out and like his thing, and he maps it out and everything, and then I'll just go in there with nothing, and he'll be like, "Well, what?" I'm like, "I don't know. It's just how let me do my thing."
Wow. I mean,
Yeah.
even guys like Eminem, you've seen his scrawlings before, right?
Oh
And
yeah, totally.
he just writes this. You can't even make sense of it.
That's Jared too, man. It's like a word over here, a line over here, like scribbles, all this stuff. But in his head, it's like he's got this mapped out, and he goes in there and just murders it, and that's how he gets it out, by just kind of like boom, boom. And I get it out by just kind of like pacing.
That's interesting. Yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah.
you're. I remember you being really good at like just kind of coming up with things on the fly and
Mm.
just sort of just freestyling here and there. Do you remember that party that we played because we lost a show in like Austin or something? You had a friend, and we played in this apartment,
I
and
do.
it was so fun. We played like just like for hours, man. And we were playing each other's songs, and like there was like a small audience there. Like she invited some of her friends over, and
I 100% remember this, man.
such a great night,
I
man.
remember that it was like oh, you guys could stay here if you're down to play some songs.
Yeah,
And we were like,
easy.
at that age, we're like, sure, man, we don't have to go pay for a hotel and shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was awesome. There's videos of that floating around somewhere, but the I remember just like us doing a couple songs and like Jared like just throwing some shit over top and then me like singing harmonies on Stan's Hall or
Yeah,
whatever, like just a great. And then we each had our own performance, but then we sort of came together.
just became a little jam sesh. Yeah, I totally
Yeah, it was
remember
so
that.
fun. And John brought the hand drums in.
Yeah,
What a great night. And then
and that's
someone
what I'm talking
started.
about. Like, that's the stuff. Like, you do miss that. Like, you're not gonna do that anymore.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
gonna go to someone's house and just stay there.
I know. No, it's the same. Like there's maybe 3 houses around the United States now that we stay at anymore. We got, you do it so often. I mean, and speaking on the subject, it's like you really see the hospitality in the crowd out there, like the people, like the good side. You hear all this bad stuff all the time, and you see the good side, man. And people that you don't even know that just take you in and let you use the shower and
Yep.
put you up and feed you and drink all their beer and stuff. I wrote a song about it. It's called Cheers. Just
Yeah.
you really see that. And but there's always the weirdos. You run into
Oh,
some
there's
weird ones.
always the yin and with the yang.
Do you have a good one? Do you have a good just a weird night?
Oh, weird. Oh my God, so many. it, like we were talking the other day, it's hard. Like there's so many that they all just start to blend together. And when someone's like, "Oh, you got this one," you're like, "I do." What one? It's hard to like pick one out, but
It is.
oh God, if I could think of one, man.
While you're thinking, we had
Yeah.
one where we ended. It was one of the last times that we did this, and we stayed at someone's house, and they made us food, and they had this big dog that was scratching at the door all night and crying, so nobody slept, and it was like on the floor, you know. Jr. like threw up from the food that we ate.
Oh,
It was just one of those weird nights. There was another one where we stayed at this kid's house in like Kentucky or something. It was really nice, but he was like, we get back and he's blasting our music. And the room, there's no carpet. It's just one of those like empty. It's like it's a kid, like a 19-year-old. You know what I mean? It's just
yeah.
single dude. There's a road cone in the corner. It's shit like that. Just blasting the music on like fucking 13, and like, and we're just like, bro, we just want to like chill. We just did this.
Like they just are like, "Oh, you guys are in a band. You're going to party till the sun comes up, right?" You're like,
No. And then we ended up, we played a college campus. We get invited back to this party. This is like, I was fucking 30. We go back and like, we're like, they look like children. They look like 12-year-olds drinking beer, you know?
Yeah.
And it was so funny, man. And I'm like, I got my pillow and my blanket. I was always the first to like find the place to sleep in.
I'm out
somewhere.
Yeah.
So I'm walking in this party and I'm like, I feel like the old dude, weird dude, right? And oh, it's so hilarious, man. I remember having a drink. We're standing out back, just having a drink by the keg, just me and a few of the guys, and the cops show up. And they're like, "Holy shit, it's the cops!" And we're like, "Oh!" And we go, "Wait, I'm fucking 30, bro." And the cops show up. They're coming in the back door with in the gate with flashlights. What's up? What's going on? I'm like, "What's up, guys?"
Yeah. And they're like, "Hello, sir."
Yeah, hello, sir. Everybody took off except the 30-year-olds.
That is so funny, man.
And looking back, it's like, could we have gotten in trouble for drinking with a bunch of 19-year-olds? I don't know, but that was like the last time we did that. I was like, we're never going to a college party again.
No, I did that. And one time too, and it wasn't long ago. This was probably like 4 or 5 years ago. So I was probably like 34, 35. And I remember it was same thing. We played like some sort of college-y show near the campus, and our bus is parked right freaking there. And like Haygood, our keyboard player, I remember was like, let's just go walk down the street, we'll just like take a little stroll, see what's happening. And it was like late midnight, 1 a.m, and we're walking and there's like a fat house having this huge party. And we just strolled in. And I was like, what am I doing here? And I remember walking through and we get like all the way to the backyard. There's all these people. And I just remember going, fucking Duddy's here. And then everyone just, I just remember going, I'm out.
It's the best, man. So if you got questions for Duddy, man, throw them up right now. We'll get them up here. So what are you guys working on now? Like, I mean, there's a lot of time. So
yeah, man, we actually like just finished a new album.
Nice.
It's so smaller one. I think it's 8 songs, and we're gonna be releasing that hopefully really soon. We wanna put out some new music very soon. So like we might even release one of the tracks, like, hopefully in the next week or two. And then I don't have an exact date, but we have a new album and it is done, and we are going to be releasing it at some point.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
Did I hear I think I saw this somewhere like last year or the year before. Did you guys stop pressing CDs for the shows?
I
heard the reason I ask is because Best Buy was going to stop selling CDs.
Oh, wow.
Right. This was like 2018, maybe.
Yeah.
And I thought I heard somewhere that you guys were considering it, or you were just like focused on digital because that's just where we are now and kind of going into the streaming age.
No, I know we always are going to do vinyl.
Right.
We're for sure always going to press vinyl. As far as I know, we might still print small numbers of CDs for like local, like, record stores that are still open.
Mm-hmm.
because we do stuff with some record stores still. But you know what? That's a good question. I don't even know.
What oh, here we Ted Bound. We'll always have our MySpace combos from 2005. Maybe not. Mine has been wiped.
Dude, MySpace. Is MySpace still like up? Can you go and like see your old MySpace?
It was like a year ago. I think I even logged in. I don't remember if like messages are still there.
What a
It's like a
trip.
totally different platform now.
Dude, I remember the first time I came across like MySpace, which was like the first social media. I didn't understand it at all. I was living with my friend John, not John, our percussion player, but a different guy. And I don't know, I was maybe 20, I guess, 21 or something. And I remember I like went in his room and he's on his computer, you know, and he's like got this like chick up and she was like a hot chick. And I'm like, who's that? Who are you talking to? He's like, oh, it's my friend. I'm like, I've known you forever and I've never seen her. He's like, no, it's like my friend on MySpace. And I was like, I don't get it. And he's like, it's like this thing. And these are my friends. They follow me and like we chat. And I was like, well, tell them to come over. Well, she lives in Tennessee, you know, and I'm just like, I was so confused by it, man. It's just like,
what and then,
yeah, I was like, hey, maybe you're friends, but you've never met them and they follow you. I don't get it.
Strange. Yeah, that was definitely a turning point. Like 04, 05, you start seeing the MySpace and yeah, what a weird time.
But then it's like that's all I started seeing. Like the next day and on, it was just like MySpace. It's just like, oh shit, this is a thing.
Duddy, did you get the cookies at the Portland, Oregon show that were left at the bus? Would they just leave them like by the bus tire?
Well, shoot. We have had many cookies left for us many a times. I will say that we always do get them and we always do eat them. What were the cookies? What flavor were they? What did they look like? And then maybe it will spark my memory of which pack of cookies they were. But thank you, Kat. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Let's see. Tawny says, what's the most memorable, beautiful after jam session you remember?
The most beautiful after jam session?
Maybe like an after party, after show type of thing. You guys kind of did some stuff.
You know what? I will say one that I remember, and it was with you, Howie. And it was on a private island after we did the 311 show on that private island when we got off the boat and we went and then we played that show on the private island. And then me and you and your beautiful wife and Jared and John and all of our ladies. And we just strolled back into the middle of the island by ourselves and found like a little private lagoon and just kicked it. And drank beers and like that shit was awesome.
It was awesome. Yeah, we took the acoustics and the beers and shit. Oh man, what a great day. That was an awesome experience.
That was an amazing day. And that day destroyed me for like a month after that, strictly because of this. I don't know what was going through my mind. That show was on a beach in the middle of the island, and it was the sunniest day in the history of the world. And
yes, you guys were gonna die.
Thought that, and the stage had no cover.
No,
and the sun was right at me.
It was right. It was
for some reason, that was the show. I decided I'm not going to wear a hat, and I didn't put any sunscreen on. And my nose, look at this thing, okay? It's not small. So
when the light dances on that just right.
Dude, it's a big guy. And it got so blasted out by the sun during that show that it was just the next day I woke up and it was like my nose was like falling off. And I just had a scab nose for like a month. Like the whole thing was just purple and just fucked.
Yeah, that was like the hottest day of that whole run.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, you guys were red, man. By the end,
done.
Poor Matt, dude.
Oh my god, I remember that. Matt was a fucking mess. Oh
yeah, what a terrible.
Yeah. So, any promoters or any people putting on shows out there, if you're gonna have a show outdoors in the middle of the day, make sure there's some shade for that band, man. Make sure there's some shade. It's as simple as a little canopy.
Seriously, man. I know there's some simple tweaks you can make
Yes,
to really make it that much better for the band.
dude. And we talked about the other day, another one that's like, if you're a guy out there doing anything that has to do with shows or anything, there has to be a bathroom backstage, man. There has to be a bathroom backstage.
There's one fucking thing. Please.
I don't ask for much, dude.
No, dude. It's very like I think people, it's we are definitely not hard to please.
No,
And especially the guys that are doing big shit like you guys. You're nice guys. Like it's very you don't ask for a lot.
I don't ask for shit.
Can you please put a bathroom backstage?
That's it. That's all I ask.
There's nothing like having to sneak through the public in the club when you gotta poop or you gotta pee right before you go on stage and there's a fucking line.
Yeah,
Like that's the worst. Like I gotta go on stage in 4 minutes and I gotta pee so bad and there's a line. You
yeah.
know,
And you're just like, I gotta go stand in line right
people
now.
trying to high five you and shit. You're just like, bro, like I just gotta, yeah, put a bathroom backstage, please.
Dude, the last time this happened was, and this was only probably like 2 years ago or so. We did a festival in Florida. It was a special festival, man. I think it was, I don't know. I want to say like Cocoa Beach or something. It was like the Fish Fest.
Oh, the seafood fest.
The Seafood Fest. It was, yeah. And what's that?
Was that the one that we did together?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, there was that other one. We did the other seafood fest in Cocoa Beach together.
Okay.
Oh, you're talking about that.
Maybe I have shows mixed up because I'm pretty sure you guys were not at this show.
Okay.
I'm positive you were not at this show. And we get to the venue and the security guard that's like watching our tent that's behind the stage is like an 85-year-old lady. It's the sweetest 85-year-old lady in the world, right? And then so we get there and like 15 minutes after we're getting there, we have one little tent, and there's like 4 chairs in it. There's 6 of us.
Yeah.
This is where we're at, right?
Yeah.
And then like these like 4 people roll in the tent, and it's like 2 older ladies and then like a 20-year-old lady and like her son. And they roll in the tent and we're just like, hey, what's up? And then the old lady comes around. She goes, oh, these are my friends and their kids and my grandkids. And I told them that it was okay for them to come back here and hang out with you guys for the show. It's like, what do I say to this lady? It's like, okay. And then I'm like, well, where's the restroom? And she points over to the middle of the crowd.
Yeah.
And there's just a bunch of porta potties. And she goes, it's over there. I go, there's no backstage bathroom. She's like, no.
Oh man.
It's just like, how dare you guys? You can't, how dare you?
This is the same place because I think you guys did it 2 years in a row.
Oh,
and
maybe.
we did the one with you.
Okay.
And I don't know if you did the one the previous year. I think you had done the previous year. And you guys came back and did it. And that's when we did the show with you guys in Coco.
Okay.
Yeah, because remember the night we played down the street and caught up with you guys across the International Palms at that bar playing pool, and you kept winning and getting everybody free beers.
That's right. It was heads or tails.
Yeah.
This bar was doing this thing. It was crazy. It was, you go up to the bar and the bartender does heads or tails with you. If you win, you get a free beer. And if you lose, then you just buy a beer. I didn't lose one time the whole night. I won like 12 straight. The bartender was just like, what the fuck? And all I had was my card. So I couldn't even tip the guy because I didn't have any cash. I mean, I kept saying, I'm like, well, just charge me for a beer on my card and then so I could tip you at least. And he was just like, no. He was like, when you lose, I will charge you for a beer. And then I never fucking lost.
I love Florida. I love Florida. That's so great. Can we get some hairstyling tips, some grooming tips? Do you use mane and tail shampoo and a brush fashioned from a narwhal horn to get those luscious locks?
Wow. You know what?
Original.
I wish I had a brush from a narwhal horn if the narwhal was not injured. in the process of getting that horn.
See,
A dead narwhal.
that's great.
I'll take a dead narwhal's
From a
horn.
dead narwhal.
Yeah. I don't do much. I fucking I brush it when I get out of the shower once, and then that's it.
Gorgeous golden locks.
Yeah, I'm Jewish, so I was blessed with the curls of a Jew. Sometimes this thing is like insane.
Not a touch of gray.
I got some on my beard.
Oh, okay.
My beard's getting a little salt and peppery.
I'm jealous of that beard, bro. I can't do it. I can't. It's just impossible. It doesn't happen. And when I do, I start to just look like a degenerate. Like I just look. No, it's not good. It's not a good look.
This is my first time ever growing facial hair, and I started it. I don't know, like maybe like 8 months ago or so, and like I think we had like a couple weeks off from the Dirty Heads or something. We had like so I was like, I'm just gonna let it grow out, see what it looks like, see if I could even grow one. And then I did it, and I was gonna cut it, and then my wife was like, no, I like it. I was like, all right, I like it. Keep it.
Yeah, I was surprised when I saw it whenever you had it, you debuted it. I was like, oh, look at this guy. Right.
Beard guy.
Hell yeah.
I have noticed though, growing out a beard, the one great thing about it is when you comb it it feels so fucking good. It's like, oh.
It's great. It's great. Let's see. I just saw one here. Michael Richards says, where is the cabin by the sea located?
You know what? The cabin by the sea is located in a different place for every person. Everyone has their own cabin by the sea.
It's in your heart.
It's in your heart.
I like that answer.
Yeah.
Are you a Blink-182 fan?
You know what? I was really into their first album. Was that Cheshire Cat?
Yeah.
Is that the first one? Yeah. I was really into that album. And then the second album, the one that had like M&Ms on it and stuff like that, was good. I started declining as a fan, I would say. I got mad respect for them, and I'm not a fan. Like I've seen them live a couple times, super fun. But I would say I was a bigger fan of their earlier stuff. And maybe that was just because that was the age I was at that time. But yes, I guess you could say, yes, I'm a fan of Blink-182. Yeah.
Right on. You were in a punk band.
I was. And
we saw some video on YouTube.
Blink-182 song. We actually would play a Blink song in that band.
You did. I remember this. I watched most of that set. And you got, oh my God, it was like, you got so mad because some dude kept spitting on you.
He kept fucking spitting on me. I remember that shit. And it was just like,
bro, stop fucking spitting on me, man. It was great.
I will fuck you up if you spit on me. And I remember he kept going like, it's punk rock. And I was like, oh, I will show you punk rock, buddy. And it's not spitting, it's punching.
Fucking ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a weird, no, I'm not doing that.
It was a big mosh pit. And every time he came around the mosh pit, he would spit up on the stage, and it was like hitting me. And I remember I just got the point. I was like, dude, if you spit on me one more fucking time.
Everybody go look for that video on the YouTube.
Oh, it's crazy. Oh man, it's that the other kid playing guitar and singing and the drummer were brothers.
Okay.
And the drummer was like, he was drumming for us in this punk band when he was like in like 7th grade. And I remember we would do little shows and stuff. And we did one time we actually played in like at our high school, like at lunch, we played like in the high school bowl, and we had to drive to his middle school and check him out. And then to come to play this show, but like this little 7th grader, and he ripped. He was a great drummer. They both were great. Wow. And he was just, I mean, he was a 7th grader, and he was a small 7th grader. So, I mean, he looked like a 4th grader. He was a very small kid, and he'd be back there, and all you could see is drumsticks. Just, it was rad though, man. It was a good time.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's awesome. Dylan Lyle says, Duddy, any chance we'll get a sequel of Phantoms of Summer?
Yeah, man, for sure. We've been talking about it. We definitely want to do an acoustic album coming up. One thing we've also been talking about doing is possibly doing an acoustic album, but maybe going back and kind of picking some of our favorite songs from all the albums and just redoing them acoustic. Maybe like we've been talking about a lot of stuff. So yes, there will definitely be some acoustic stuff coming out.
That's great. Yeah, now is definitely the time for this stuff, man.
Dude.
And I think that like even though the songs are, previously released, I mean, people love acoustic, man.
Totally, man.
Like it's something that just I don't know what it is. It's like it's something. It's like drums. It's like everybody loves drums. It's just like in our DNA or some evolutionary caveman shit.
Beat, treble.
Yeah, exactly. And acoustic guitar is the same. Like if you just like strum an acoustic and just a little bit of, people love that shit.
Totally.
I don't know what kind of noise I just made, but Ted Bound says, "What is my age again?"
What's my age?
Ted Bound doesn't look a day over 22.
No, look at that guy. That guy hasn't had a worry in his life ever.
I love that guy. Let's see. Corinne says, Duddy, what made you start your podcast?
You know what? I've always, well, not always, but I guess, for the last 5 years or so, been really into just listening to podcasts. I love podcasts. I find myself actually these days listening to podcasts more than I listen to music. I really enjoy just fucking talking with people. Like I could just sit down and chat with people for fucking ever. And I came across a guy that owned the studio, Reamp Studio, really cool place. And I was just chatting with him and he was like, "Hey, you ever thought about doing a podcast?" And I was like, "I haven't really put much thought into it, but I'd love to do one." He's like, "I got a studio with a podcast place. Let's do it." And I just like hit my brother up because my brother's, he's just a funny, smart, quick, witty guy. So I was like, "Hey, you want to like do a podcast with me?" And he's like, "Yeah, let's do it." So we just, like Howie said, sometimes it's like, you just got to do it. I didn't know. I was like, maybe we do 2 episodes and I realized I suck at this and we stop. I don't know. And we started doing it and we're just like, man, this is fun.
Yeah, man.
This is fucking fun.
Yeah. You guys seem like having a lot of fun on there. Cheese was like the first episode, I think.
Cheese was the first episode.
Incredible.
Wild, man.
Oh, man. He seems like a crazy dude to hang out with.
He is, man. He's a good dude. He's a lot of fun to be around. But you got to fucking watch your back when he's around because he will do some gross shit.
Oh, man. Yeah, I enjoy listening to the podcast when I can catch it. I'm not listening to as many podcasts right now. I guess just because I usually listen in the car, so we're not going anywhere. So and nowadays I'm just working in here. But I like the vibe of it. I like the approach, the style, the feeling good. It's not just called feeling good. You're literally like bringing up one of the segments is, all right, what makes me feel good, and you guys talk about one thing or something that makes you feel good. And I think that's a really cool little premise.
Yeah, man. We just kind of like with our music. It's like we like stuff that uplifting, lighthearted, but at the same time, there is a underlined like seriousness and and with the podcast, like we want you to leave going, "Oh, that was funny," but we also want you to leave going, "Yeah, but that was some good points they made too." Like I could probably try some of that in my own life,
Yeah. There's I love when there's some sort of value from it. Not just it is, like a lot of times, like this podcast is mostly about just my experiences and just trying to give advice and like what would I do if I were to start a band right now, like really help artists, especially going into the the 2020 2021, like what it is to be an artist today and the things to expect. Got to be savvy on the social and all this stuff. But when I bring my guys on, the Ballyhoo guys, nobody learns anything. It's just a shit show. We're just talking about movies and video games and fart jokes and dick jokes and stuff.
People like that too, though.
Oh yeah, you need that sometimes,
Yeah.
But it is nice when you can inject some sort of a positive value that people can actually apply to their everyday.
Totally.
Some people just are looking for some sort of some guidance, some like a little something, little anecdotes or something to kind of help them get through the day.
Totally. I mean, I know there's so many times where I've just been chatting with someone or listening to a podcast or whatever, and they say something where you're just like, "Oh man, that makes so much sense for me in my life." Like that, I could utilize that. Like, it's good. Just get those little gems every now and then.
Yeah, it's great, man. You're on episode like 45 now.
Actually, you are going to be episode 49.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah. Which will come out, which will drop this upcoming Wednesday.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
And can you announce who's going to be episode number 50 or
I don't know yet.
don't know yet?
I
Yeah.
don't even know yet. I know we were talking about that. I was like, shit, I didn't realize we were so close. I should have planned this.
Yeah, yeah. I had I think Rome was my episode 50.
Oh, nice.
I
Yeah.
had Rome for episode 50 and I had Nick Hexum as at 100.
I saw that was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, he was great, man. It was like he opened up. He was very, very cool, and I got a
Yeah.
lot of great stories. And you
That's
got,
awesome.
if you missed episode 100, man, he went in depth with the bus fire, the RV fire and stuff. Like they were literally hauling a van with an RV, like he says in the song, like driving an RV, hauling a van instead of a trailer, and it caught on fire. And yeah, I think he was driving, and they literally escaped with their lives, as he puts it. He had to jump
Damn.
through flames, and his hair burnt off.
Whew.
He had he had long hair like you, and it burnt off. He had to shave it. He said
Wow.
he said it was just ash in his hands.
Wow.
Yeah. So go back and listen to that. Let's see. Can you both perform at Eco Beach in Toronto and maybe bring Rome too? Tabitha Stephens says.
Got you.
Sure.
Yeah, man. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah, we'll be there. As soon as we're allowed to go back out of the house,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
Man, I'll play anywhere right now.
Yeah, seriously, man.
Dude.
Joel Patterson says, Duddy, which Closer to the Sun was your favorite?
Well, there was great moments at both of them. But the new Hard Rock, I believe, is the new place that they're holding it. It's a better venue.
Okay.
It's just more room. The stage area and stuff is better. So I think just strictly because of the venue itself, I think this last one was better for
Okay.
me personally. Yeah.
Nice. We haven't played that yet. I'm hoping to catch an invite at some point.
You guys haven't done Closer to the Sun?
We haven't done it yet.
What?
Yeah, I don't
I feel
know.
like that's insane.
Yeah. People know where I live, man. You know?
Oh, that's insane.
They got my number.
Yeah. We're gonna start a a petition. That's the word. I was like, damn, I can't think of the word. I need my alpha brain.
Dude, how is that stuff for you? But we'll get to this question in a second. How is that for you? Because I take it too.
I mean, I honestly really feel like I've seen a difference, and it's just like, like if you start taking vitamins or supplements, you're not going to feel it like that day. You're not going to be like, I'm faster and stronger now. But like, as I've taken it now very consistently for probably like 5-6 months, I catch myself like being way sharper, remembering things, as I just couldn't think of the word petition. But I used to always be like this mid-sentence going like, oh, what's that fucking word? And it'd be a stupid word. It'd be like just boat or something. Like, I can't think of the word, but it doesn't happen as much. And I've noticed since I started taking it, I remember people's names like that I just meet, and then like normally I'm like, that shit's gone, like, and then I'll see them like later and I'll be like, hey, Jim, what? I know his name. Like, yeah. So I think it's helping totally, man.
I started taking it last year, and I had a gap. I didn't take it for a while. I started taking it again recently. And the second day that I took it, that night, I had the craziest dream, and I realized that I hadn't dreamt in a long time, or maybe I did. I just didn't remember it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, whoa! I just felt like I opened up a channel,
Your brain just started working again. Just
yeah. Because it's I know it's Joe Rogan's thing. It's like you want to believe that it works, and like that's it's like, is this like just in my head or whatever? But it
totally
definitely did something,
No, for sure.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I recommend it. I've been, like I said, I've been taking it for 6 months, and like I do feel like I'm a little sharper and my memory is better for sure.
That's great. Yeah. I need to try to hook up with On It and get them on, because like a sponsor or something, because
they're great. I could link you up with them.
That'd be rad. Yeah, because we take their new mood as well.
Oh, I love the new mood. I use it every night.
Yeah, Danielle has Danielle like can get stressed out pretty easily, so I try to like, here, take this.
Oh yeah, totally. No, the new mood's great.
Yeah, I'd love to link up with you on that.
Yeah, for sure.
So Anthony, I'm just gonna say Anthony. These first names. Duddy, what are your favorite cities to play in?
That's it's so many. I've always really liked Boston. I really enjoy playing in Boston. I just like Boston a lot. I love Chicago. I love, obviously, Colorado, just all around. Like Red Rocks is just an amazing place to play. But honestly, I feel like every tour, like I find a new place that I just really love, and there's not many places. I can't even think of one off the top of my head where I'm like, I hate playing here. Like you find enjoyment in everywhere you play, and unfortunately, a lot of times when we do go play shows, all we see in that city is the venue.
Right.
You wake up, you're at the venue already, you play the show, and then you got to drive to the next place after the show. So
Yeah.
it's really, has a lot to do with just that night and that crowd and that vibe and that show. It's kind of like where the memories come from,
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Um, David says, any chance of playing small club shows this winter? It seems like larger venues will be a while still.
Man, if we are playing shows in the winter, I'm guessing they're going to be some small club shows.
I heard there, there's always those rumors, you hear about those new articles that come out. Who knows how real they are, but always take those things with a grain of salt, people. But something about 250 caps might be the thing.
Yeah.
I heard that somewhere.
Well, you got to think like just because they're going to be like, okay, cool, you guys can all go back out and do stuff again, doesn't mean that everyone's going to feel comfortable with it. So there's still going to be, probably a majority of people who are just like, man, I'm not going to concerts. I'm not going to the movies. I'm not trying to go be around all these people. So that's going to scare venues. That's going to scare promoters. No one's going to want to like put their money on the line to put on a huge, 10,000 seater, because the chance of you getting 10,000 people to show up, pretty small.
Yeah. As far as I know, like that, the Green Day, Weezer, Fall Out Boy tour is still on. That's a stadium tour. Like, there's no fucking way.
There's no fucking way.
60,000 people, dude? No. In like August? No.
There's no way.
I don't see it, man.
There's no fucking way.
Yeah, this whole thing has been a whole learning experience and an adjustment, and there's a new normal that's happening.
Oh yeah.
And we're gonna have to definitely promoters are gonna have to figure out what they're gonna do. If we can get to a point where you can put 250 people in a club, that's something.
It's a start, and that's what it's going to be at. I think that all of our first shows coming back out are going to probably be small venues, small crowds.
I hope it doesn't mean the ticket price is going to go up though, because they're not going to make their, they have it at, Ballyhoo's typically a $10 to $20 ticket, depending.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be $50 for somebody to get in. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. I have no idea like what's going to happen with all of that crap. It's just a crazy time right now.
Yeah. It was already like $500 for me to see Bruno Mars a couple of years ago. Couldn't get the damn tickets. I love Bruno Mars. That dude crushes.
He's a talented dude, man.
Super talented. But yeah, hopefully we'll get back to some sort of normalcy quicker than,
Yeah, it's starting to go a little stir crazy. Just for dumb shit. Like I just want to go out to eat. I just want to go to a restaurant. It's like,
True.
Just dumb shit.
I heard something about there's a country that's doing like a what's it called, immunity certificate or something, where like once you've had it, you're supposedly immune to it, so you can go back out into the world. You just got to bring that ID with you or something, and so they can slowly start to open things back up. Because what Fauci was saying a while back was like, hey, we're not sure yet, but if it's like any other virus, once you have it, you're immune to it. So that means that particular strain, but
yeah,
just the whole not having a vaccine thing is weird,
Yeah. We'll see. Just riding it out like everyone else,
Exactly.
Okay.
We'll do a couple more and I'll let you go, man. This went pretty quick. Holy shit, we're almost an hour and a half.
Yeah, no worries, man. I don't want to nothing going on.
Okay, cool. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Jessica says, Duddy, what's your favorite place to play frisbee golf?
Fortunately, in Huntington Beach, there's like an amazing frisbee golf course off of Golden West. And that's where I used to play there all the frickin' time. And I've played quite a few frisbee golf courses with traveling around, with the band and whatnot. And it's one of the better frisbee golf courses right here in Huntington Beach. It's great. But in Aspen, there is like one of those chair lifts, like kind of, takes you up to the top of the mountain. You could kind of like see the view. There's like a little restaurant up top and everything like that. So we took the chairlift up there just to go check it out. And we got up there and there was a Frisbee golf course on the top of the mountain. And there was on right next to hole 1, there was this big bucket filled with Frisbees. And it just said, please return when you're done. Wow. Free. So we just picked up some Frisbees and went and played the course. It was pretty fucking amazing, man.
That's great. I'm really bad at outdoors.
Yeah. No.
I get invited all the time. Like they stopped inviting me after a while, but it's like, all right, just golf? Nope.
Not going outdoors.
Yeah. I'm just always like, I don't know. I've always been like an inside dude, and I'd rather be like working on something.
Yeah.
You know? Like I don't really. I don't know. I like being on the beach. I do. You know, but
yeah.
You know, I'd rather do it like I love the kids, but man, I'd rather just not have to chase them around and make sure they're not drowning and shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Local radio station here in Ocean City, Ocean 98, Irie Radio. Give us your favorite memory of secrets in Ocean City.
Memory of secrets. Oh my God. Secrets is wild, man. My favorite memory. Well, unfortunately, I don't think I have very many memories from secrets because it's pretty wild.
Drinks flow.
The drinks flow. I don't know if I have like a crazy memory from secrets. Yeah, man. I know we always have a great time and it's always a wild party. I know that for sure. But I can't think of like a crazy memory at this moment.
It gets fuzzy, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's those we play it once or twice every summer and it's just craziness, you know.
Yeah.
Go up there and like hang out with the station for like a little bit and then
oh my God, I do have a memory. I have a memory. And it's like a sad one. But so you know,
share your feelings.
Out in front of Secrets, you know, they have the little like apartments that's your green room, you know, and we were on like the second story just hanging out after the show, like late, and everyone's starting to leave the, you know, Secrets, they're closing down. And there was this drunk kid and he walks up and he sees me on the balcony and he's like, Duddy, what's up? And he's like all hammered and he's like totally wasted. And I'm just like, what's up, bro? And he's just like, come down here and hang out. And I'm like, nah, man. He's like, come on, come down here. And right as he's doing that from the bottom, Big B, I think we were turning Big B, his drummer at the time. It was not Big B. He had nothing to do with this. He actually felt really bad and helped the kid up and everything. But his drummer at the time, for some reason, thought the kid was like yelling at me, like talking shit. Oh, man. So I didn't even see him. So I'm just yelling at the kid. I'm like, nah, man, thanks for coming. You know, have it. And I just see this guy run out and just freaking picks this kid and just throws him. And there's like all these bikes locked up, and he throws him into these bikes, and the kid just crumbled into a ball of bikes and kickstands in his back. And he was just like, what? I was just like, no, why are you hurting this poor drunk kid? Oh, so that's my memory from Secrets.
Yeah, that is a sad story. Damn
sad story.
That sucks. Oh man. No, we love Ocean 98 over here.
Yeah.
they support both of our bands, man. They play like all the bands in the genre. They kill it. Thank you guys so much for that.
Yeah, thank you guys.
I like this question. Jake says, any chance of a Duddy B signature guitar in the future?
You know what? It's I have a really close relationship with Ernie Ball, and Brian Ball is a good friend of mine, and all the electrics that you see me play on stage, I've designed with them. And Brian was talking to me after the last one. He was like, man, you always make really cool looking guitars. Like the guitars you always end up with are really rad looking. Like we should make like a Duddy B guitar. And I was like, we fucking should.
Fuck yeah.
There's nothing set in stone or a date or anything like that, but we chatted about it for a quick sec.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah. I'm sure we would all love to see something like that.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
If it was, if I was going to do a guitar, I always think about this. It would literally be like, probably like a Fender Strat or Fender Telecaster body with one knob. That's it.
Oh yeah.
Just one pickup, one knob.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, the volume knob is you kind of adjust for tone a little bit, but
totally
no tone knob. Like it'd be one tone. That's it. You know, like nothing crazy. and it'd probably
No,
be like fucking pink or something.
yeah.
You know, very simple when it comes to the guitar sounds.
Shit, sorry, my my low battery just popped up here on my laptop.
Oh, no
But
worries. Yeah,
I could always go run and grab a charger though if I need to.
it's up to you if you want to hang for a little bit longer. Or
Looks like I got like 6% left, so
okay,
we're good for a bit. If it shuts off, that's what happened.
that's what happened. All right, yeah, we'll try to finish up here. Did you see any ghosts in the empty pool at the Rave Eagles Ballroom in Milwaukee?
I didn't see any ghosts, but I will tell you it is creepy. But this did happen, and I'll tell this story, and then I'll just go run and grab my charger real quick.
Okay.
We were playing there with Modest Yahoo, and we went down there after the show. It was late. We're drinking, and we fucking hear like, oh, so we go down there, and Modest Yahoo is by himself in the back corner of that creepy room, sitting there doing like weird chants.
What?
Like, yeah. It was actually really cool. It sounded amazing. I mean, he's got a really nice voice, and he was doing. This is back when he was still very like into his religious, guy, and so he was doing. I don't know what he was chanting, but it was a little creepy, but also pretty rad.
That's great, man.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go grab my charger. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, my back.
Yo, thanks everybody for tuning in over here, man. This has been super awesome. Let's get a few more questions in here. He's been cool enough to hang out this long. He's grabbing his charger. So if you got a really good question, man, I'll try to pick it out for him. Something you really want to know or anything like that. Make sure you're if you're not already, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that bell so you know when I go live, and maybe subscribe to the Tales from the Green Room podcast on your podcast app or whatever. Last night was insane, by the way. Thanks to everybody that came out. That's everybody that came out last night to the Daydreams. Insane. We had a great night. So many memories just came flooding back from 9 years ago when we recorded that record. The guitar that I played, that black Telecaster with the Earl sticker on it, that's the guitar that I recorded Daydreams with. That's the guitar all over that record. So it just sits here in my studio, and I figured maybe I would bring it back out for that special event. And yeah, it was a great, awesome night. So thank you guys for tuning in and all the support.
Why is that?
And we're back.
I think we're back. Yeah, there we go.
There you go. Nice.
And that was a nice time for me to refill on my coffee as well.
Oh, good. Yeah, I know. I wish. Damn it. I got one sip left.
I just realized how much this cup actually matches the photo in the background.
Yeah,
that's weird. Yeah. That's weird. Wow.
You. Yeah. Got a thing for spirals. Matthew Rhodes. This is solid, Howie Spangler. Thanks, Matthew.
Matt. I think I'm able to say this. I hope I don't mess something up for you, Matt. Jared actually just did a track with Tropodelic, and it's fire.
They announced it yesterday, I think, or the day before.
Did they announce it? Okay,
week.
good.
It's announced. Yeah.
Okay,
it's coming out, I think, next week. Matt, am I right? Yeah.
It's a great track. It's a great track, and it's funny. They hit us up, and they're like, we want one of you guys to do this track, and Jared had listened to it before I did, and I was like, this is a great track. He was like, do you mind? Like, I like this song. Like, do you mind? I was like, go ahead, dude. Go ahead. It's all you. He killed it too. It sounds great.
That's great. I can't wait to hear it, man. Matt, send me a preview, bro. Come on. We're friends, right? Let's see. What kind of coffee you got, Duddy?
Oh, dude, as we're on this is the mushroom coffee with the lion's mane in it. It is.
Really?
It is really good.
Bro, send me some links.
Dude, I will. It's this is other stuff where I love this mushroom coffee. Like, it doesn't mess with my stomach as much as I'll drink a full pot of coffee, no problem.
Same.
I just love it. I drink coffee normally until my stomach hurts, and then I know I've had enough. But not this mushroom coffee. Like, it doesn't mess with my stomach at all. and it's really good for your brain. And it's got like, I highly recommend it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, please send me some links. I'm
Mhm.
just drinking like some standard bullshit from Walmart, dude, like Good
Yeah.
Value donut shop or
I
something.
mean, I'll drink that shit too. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah. It's
I'm
gotta
not,
be it's gotta be like the the bold, like at least a medium brew, but
yeah, yeah.
like I don't get down with the light shit, but and it's just black, just straight
Oh,
black.
I'm straight black. Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
mess
I
around.
I don't
Yeah.
fuck with the cream anymore. Like
No.
I realize like I get enough sugar in my diet,
Yeah.
and I've since tried to be better about that. But as soon as I cut out the cream, I just started feeling better, man.
Oh yeah,
You don't
man.
realize what that shit does to your body.
Oh, it's just all that extra shit's bad.
For
Yep. You
sure.
know what? I cut out as I mean, I didn't completely cut out. Like I'll still have a beer every now and then, or I'll drink like a nice whiskey, like straight or whatever. But like, I used to just be like I never was like a soda guy, but when I would drink, I would always just drink like Jack and Coke. That was my thing. And like touring, it was just like fucking Jack and Cokes, boom, 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 boom. And like 3 or 4 years ago, I just completely cut that out. And the only thing I drink now is vodka and soda water. That's it. That was like an instant difference. I felt like just cut everything out. If I drink, it's vodka and soda water. That's it. And I saw such a difference. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
And so you're not ripping shots or anything?
No, like I said, like I don't go out like when I'm home. I don't go out to bars and shit like that. Like if I'm hanging out with some buddies or if it's after a show and the guys are like, Matteo is really into tequila, so he'll always get like decent tequilas around, and if they're like, hey, let's take a shot, I'll fucking take a shot with you. I'm not like a Nazi about it, but like, no, for the most part, like, no, I'm not ripping shots back, and I don't drink beer much anymore. I just, as I got older, I started realizing, I was like, damn, every time I drink Jack and Coke, and I don't even drink Coke. So now I just had like 4 Cokes last night. Like, like,
Yeah, right. You start like, oh, I got
you
that
start
all
to think about that. And I was like, that's gross. And then I just was like, I'm not doing that anymore.
That's interesting to think about it that way.
Yeah.
Like, I love a good like rum and Coke or rum and diet or something every now and then.
It's delicious.
And when you drink like 3 or 4 of 'em in a night, you're like, yeah, oh yeah, I drank like a lot of Coke last night.
Yeah. And then if you have like a big night, you're like, dude, I drank like a 2 liter of Coke last night.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I never drink soda, man. I'm
Never.
done. Like LaCroix,
I
LaCroix,
love
if you're
LaCroix.
an asshole,
Dude, no,
right?
it is LaCroix. I don't care what you say. And I will drink the fuck out of 13 of those right now.
Same. Yeah, we did this thing where we started. Here's a good tip. Here's one of the learning moments on the podcast for you artists out there when you're next time you go on tour. We started cutting out the booze for the most part. For this on the shows. Just really laying back, and some of the guys will still get like a 6-pack or something, and it usually lasts a few days. The cooler's still full from the last run. But what we'll do is we'll cut it out, and we'll take we'll be like, yo, just get like a 12-pack of LaCroix, water, of course, hummus, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we take the rest of the money from the buyout and we just give it to we just spread it out.
That's
And
great.
so you put that on top of your per diem, dude, you start coming home with money.
Hell yeah.
Like, especially if you're in a band where the guarantees aren't so high yet and you're still playing the small bars and things like that, and the deals aren't great. If you can work that out in your deal, take the buyout money and just spread it amongst yourselves.
Yep.
And especially works if you're like, if you're intermittent fasting, which is great. It's great for your body. It means you're not eating like all day long. So you spend less money anyway. So you're going to save money that way. And it's great. And if the venue's paying for dinner, like if it's like a buffet style or you get like a meal ticket or something, you get to pocket that money, man. You end up making like 20 or 30 bucks a day. You're on the road for a month.
You add that up.
It adds up.
Yeah, it adds up. No, it's true, man. It's funny. It's like we still have drinks and stuff, after the show. We don't drink before the show. But back in the day, I would say even 5 or 6 years ago, like there was no leftover booze.
No.
There wasn't leftover booze. Now a tour's over and it's like, well, I'll take these 3 bottles and, like everyone's just like filling up their bags with full bottles of booze that never got touched. And you're like, it's pretty funny how things change,
Back in the back in our 20s, in the 2000s, it was amazing. I remember I think in like '08, we played some Green Turtle. It's like a chain restaurant down in Southern Maryland, and we got our case of beer, and the guy brings the case of beer on ice, and for whatever reason, some of these bars like to pop all the tops.
I hate that.
You're like, bro,
You're
what are
like,
you
now I'm
doing?
gonna have stale ass beer. Like,
Yeah, what are you doing? So we get all these beers, and it's like there's 24 beers there, and we start pounding them. Like it's like 4 p.m. Like we're done sound check, and that's it. And we're like, hey man, can we get some more beers for later for the stage? He's like, you're not gonna drink all this now. We're like, what are you talking about? Yeah, of
yeah,
course we are.
yeah,
You know, if I look at that shit now, I'm like, get that away from me.
no. I had my show that I drank too much, and I'll never do it again.
Never again.
It's
Never again.
it's I always say it's like it's way better to have a drink after the show celebrating how good the show was rather than having a drink afterwards to soak up your sorrows because you just played like shit, like
Yeah, I never have after show drinks anymore. Like it's just
yeah.
once the show's over, I'm like, okay, it's done.
I still do after the show because I don't really like it's funny, like I don't even really eat before the show. Like I'll have like a light lunch and then I don't really eat the rest of the day. And then I don't drink before the show. So when that show's over, I'm like, dude, give me some food and give me a fucking cocktail, like right now.
Yeah. I find myself going back to the hotel, and every now and then I'll still be feeling it. I'll take a beer, and this is every now and then I'll sit there with a beer. I'm going, why? Why am I doing this? I'm just
Yeah.
gonna go to sleep in like 20 minutes.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
No, I don't know.
No, it's funny. Like within like 20 minutes after the show, I've got a solid buzz and I'm full.
Yeah, right.
Well, because I'm like straight to the bus. I make a cocktail, a couple fat rips, and and I start eating. So like I'm just like instantly like, okay,
Everything's
I'm
right.
back. I'm back.
Jay says, thanks, Howie, for all the killer live stream shows. Duddy saw you in Rome and KC recently, and it was amazing. Any chance for a Rome and Duddy acoustic album?
Yeah, 100%. Unfortunately, because of all this, it's going to take longer to get out. We were planning on getting to work on it right when we got home from the tour. We actually already have a handful of songs that we've written for it. But we ain't trying to get in the studio right now together and all that. And we want to have some cool musicians come in and play on it with us. So we're just kind of waiting for this all to die down. And I think we're going to probably end up going to Nashville to record it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You guys have didn't you guys do the last record there?
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
We did it with Dave Cobb. It was awesome. It was really cool to work with him. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it's good to mix it up, man. And Nashville's not straight country anymore. It's really not. It's like
Nashville's great. I honestly love it there. I wouldn't be surprised if I ended up owning a pad there one day.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It's just a rad music town, man.
That's awesome. Yeah, Rome was saying the same thing. He's like got a place or getting a place out there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. We got any of you guys ever been to Tijuana before?
Bro, I live in Southern California. I could throw a rock to Tijuana. I've been there so many times. Oh my God. we used to go there all the fucking time.
Never been there.
It's crazy. And
here we go.
We would go right past Tijuana. You go right past Tijuana, and then you pass Rosarito. There's this little gated community called Las Gaviotas. And we used to go every summer, like twice a summer. You could rent these houses right there on the beach. And it's a cool little gated community. And we would go there and get a couple houses right next to each other and just party our fucking asses off. And yeah, go into Tijuana, go to Rosarito, do all that. Good times.
That's great.
Yeah.
I've been to Mexico, I think once. And that was for that thing we did together in '09. We talked about on your pod. That beach bash thing, and it was very poorly attended. That guy had to
Dude, we were laughing about that on a few episodes ago. I had Christian on, and we were dying. We're like, dude, this festival was set up for like a 20,000 person beach fest lined with vendors. The vendors were there cooking food, all their trinkets up to sell stuff. I mean, this thing was set up for 20,000 fucking people to come party, and about 8 people showed up. And I'm not exaggerating, like
You're
8
not.
people.
You're not.
Nobody showed up. The only people watching the show were the other bands that were there.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody showed up. And it was a 2-day thing, and it happened both days.
Yeah, I have 2 great memories from that. One was when Jared took me back to the van to listen to "Lay Me Down" a year before it was on the radio. So, "Oh, we just did this song with this kid Rome. Check this out." And I was like, "Yo, play that shit again." Like, it was so good. It was so good. And then, the rest is history. But then we all climbed into your van. There was like 21 of us, if I remember
I
correctly,
remember we were laying on top of each other, just
stacked up. And I remember I used to wear my fucking keys and shit, my laminates, like everywhere on tour, like, 'cause
oh my God, I remember this.
this was the best. This is such a great burn. We had, oh my God, we get in the van, we're all piled up, and I'm like in the middle between, I think Christian was driving or something like that, or
Yeah.
anyway, we're all laughing and like, oh God, legs everywhere and shit. And Christian, it was the perfect moment. It got silent, and Christian's like, "Yeah, it'd be a lot more room in here if Howie took off his 311 laminate." Everybody was like, "Ooh."
Wow.
It was such a good
Oh,
burn.
dude.
So we cruised down this dirt road and ended up on this rooftop bar in Mexico, drinking, Coronas or whatever else, and it was like the best night, man.
Dude, I'll never forget too. And I remember something that I still say on the regular, or it's like an ongoing thing with our band. And because when we were walking out of that rooftop bar and we were heading back to the van, I don't remember if there was like a dude, like a transvestite dude that was dressed like a chick and obviously had gone through some transition, and he had this big old fake boob. Sorry, I'm trying to let my daughter hear me. And he's standing on the corner, and as we all walk by, he's just going, "You can touch my titties for free. You can touch my titties for free." And he just kept saying it. We're just like, we don't want to.
Oh my God.
Oh, dude.
That's incredible. Oh man.
So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and this is Alpha Brain in its finest. Jesse Andre
Yeah,
was the promoter of that show.
he was.
Jesse Andre, if you are listening to this, please hit us up and let us know how much you lost on that, because it had to be quite a bit.
He's such a great dude, man.
The nicest guy ever, dude.
He's the nicest guy. I love that, man. Let's see. What is Greg Shields talking about? Is there still a house on the mountain shaped like a pair of tits? I think it's on the way to TJ, but somewhere in Cali. Someone confirm.
It's not a house in the mountains shaped like it. It's on the beach area. If you're right, I think it's right around where Camp Pendleton is. And I'd say that's probably 40 minutes from Mexico, in between Huntington Beach and San Diego. It's like, and you're driving there, and it's like, I don't know what they are for, but yeah, there's these two like, and they just look like big metal boobs.
Oh, dude, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I sent Danielle a video of that. We were driving by, and I was like, "There they are." And I sent it to her. She just like sent me back one of the emoji, like with the flat. Just come on, don't be lame. Don't be 12.
It's a nuclear reactor, Kyle says.
Yeah, that's right.
Nuclear boobies. Yeah.
Oh, this looks sweet. Stephanie Rogers says, "Duddy, do you remember trying to braid the little girl's hair in Indianapolis for her first show?"
Oh, was it at the hair? Was it at the Kiss Kiss Bang Bang hairstyling thing when we were doing it for this radio station? It was mohawks and mullets, and the band, we were all there, and fans were coming in, and if they wanted a haircut from us, they either had to get a mullet or a mohawk. And we were giving people, and then there was a cute little girl there. I remember I braided her hair. I don't know if this is what you're talking about, but
oh, that's really nice though.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Everybody's talking about the nuclear boobs now. Let's get back to real stuff, people. Come on. It's an educational show. Any plans to dread your hair or just leave it long and awesome? Says Danny.
Absolutely fucking not. Never, never.
That's amazing. I had someone asked me that like 10 years ago if because I had long hair, and I was like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not doing
Nah,
that.
not for me. And nothing wrong with it. It's just not for me, man.
Yeah, not for me either. Um, let's see.
Okay, that was. It looks like it was the little girl from that
Oh,
Mullets and
cool.
Mohawk place. Okay, cool.
Awesome, awesome. My two favorite podcasts collide.
Yeah, there you
We
go.
did it.
Bam.
We did it. Yeah, she loves Duddy. A bunch of people helped us set it up for her to meet him. I have pictures. That's cool. That's awesome. That's one of the best things is when you can accommodate things like that for people
Totally.
that, it's one of the things that I try to stress, and I don't run into many dickish, rock stars or whatever, people doing music. Like most people understand what this is and they know why they're there. It's, we make cool music, at least we like to think we make cool music, and uh people are drawn to it, and that is the reason why we get to the heights that we can get to. It's because if you didn't have listeners, you wouldn't. That's it. You'd have the music for yourself, which I think is just where it should always start from. You write your music for yourself, but if you have a goal to like take it somewhere, the only way you're going to do that is with people that are watching or listening, paying
Totally.
attention. And when when you can do things like that, like take a second to braid a girl's hair or give somebody a mohawk and do those appearances, it just goes a long way. It's
100%, man.
people appreciate it, and it's easy for me, but I've had people tell me things like I literally saved their lives and things like that from people hurting themselves, and how do you process that? How do you like it's something that you I can't think that anybody would even think of me in that way. You know what I
Mhm,
mean? In a
mhm.
position where they look up to me in that light, and uh, it's hard to kind of get over yourself on that. It's like, really, like you think that I'm just some guy, you know, writing songs, and I'm sure you've had the same experiences. You know,
100%. Yeah. And honestly, it's a great feeling. It really is, and it's like you said, when you first start, it's for yourself. You're playing music because you love music and you're interested in learning the guitar or something, and then you start doing it and you're like, wow, I love this. I'm going to start writing songs. You're not your first song you write. You're not like, oh, this is going to be a single.
yeah,
You're just like, oh, I want to try to do this because it's fun
yeah,
and I enjoy it. And then, you get a band, and then, you go out and you play a couple shows and you're like, oh, fuck, this is great. I really like this. And then, to keep going from there, it's like you really have to have like this passion for it. And it's like we talked about earlier, it's like you can fake it to make it, but that shit's so easy to see, man. And
yeah.
you're not gonna, and unless you go overnight success with that, you're not gonna stick with it because you don't actually love it. And it's a long, hard fucking road. But when you finally, you do it for a long time because you love it, but then you get to that place where you start getting messages from people like, hey man, I just want to let you know this song you wrote really helped me. I was going through a tough time. And you're like, wow, that's fucking awesome, because music's helped me in the same way many times. So now I'm doing that for other people. It's like, it's a good feeling.
It is a great feeling.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. John Paul says, "What's your favorite golf course around the United States?"
Oh, that's a good one. I've been lucky to play a few like TPC in Florida, which was amazing. There's a really beautiful course here. I enjoy playing Monarch Bay. And I like it strictly because it's absolutely beautiful, but it's playable. It's not easy, but it's not like so difficult to where you're just fucking hating yourself. So you get this nice, beautiful course that they take care of like really well. And you're on the ocean in the most beautiful view. And you could also enjoy it, not just like, I hate myself. There's like, for instance, there's a course, a Trump course in Palos Verdes in Long Beach area, and it's right on the ocean, like the most magnificent views you've ever seen in your life. And they made this course so fucking hard it's just not even enjoyable. You're just like, what the fuck, dude? And then it's a Trump course, so it's so over the top. It's like fake rocks with waterfalls. It's like so over the top, but you're just like, you hit the ball like a foot off the fairway, gone. You'll never find it. You're just like, come on, man.
Yeah,
But yeah,
really enjoyable.
yeah, there's a lot of, I've played so many amazing courses, man. That's that great thing about golf is like no matter where you're at, you get out on the golf course and you're just like, I'm away from everything for a bit.
Yeah, I don't play golf, but I can see the appeal.
It's great
Being out there either by yourself or with your homies, and like you got the cooler with you and all that stuff, and
totally
dresses up nice.
Yeah, it started, I mean, for me, like I didn't really start golfing until I was like 25, you know, and it started with that. It was like I had friends that golfed and they would always ask me to come. I don't want to come. So then I was like, okay, I'll come, and at least I'll just driving around in a golf cart, have some beers. Sure. Every now and then hit a ball. Sounds great. And then you go and you do it. And then like you have like one good hit. You're like, oh, that was kind of fun. And then I was just fucking addicted. I fell so hard in, like I fell so hard in love with golf for a bit there. It got weird.
Yeah, Micah Puchel from Iration is a huge golfer.
Yeah, he's good.
Tweets all the time about golf. It's great.
Yeah, I've golfed with him a couple of times. He's a good golfer.
That's good. Yeah,
I golf with Micah, the other Micah from Iration, a lot too. He lives not far from me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this. Angela says, I played the song Oxygen for my 90-year-old father last week, and he's had it on repeat since.
I love it.
That's amazing.
That is amazing.
When your shit can be literally all ages, you know, you got a 5-year-old and a 90-year-old, you know, and everything in between. That's the best.
I just have a question for Angela. If your father is 90, how old are you? Because you don't look that old.
True. Yeah. Wow.
Did your father have you at like 70?
It's like some Mick Jagger shit. Nice.
Yeah, I know. I'm like right here, like in my living room. I'm like, my kids are like quarantined in their back.
Nice. How are the kids handling it?
They're handling it well. They're actually being super good sports about it, and we're luckily like 4 or 5 days ago, we got a pool put in. It got finished in our backyard, a pool. So they're just like jumping and swimming, and they're just like, whatever.
Yeah, they don't care. Yeah. My kids are mad. They got to do schoolwork still.
Oh yeah, totally same. Yeah.
Okay, this is a good question here. Kelly says, who's the idea to get Mr. Belding in the vacation video?
Dude, you know what? It was someone from our label, I believe. We were on tour, and that single hit, and it was starting to do well, so we needed to get a video done like immediately, but we were on the road, so we were like trying to come up with ideas to do a video that we were not in, you know, that none of us were going to be in the video. And then someone from the label hit up like, hey, I know Mr. Belding from Saved by the Bell, like what if he was just like dancing through a high school singing it? We were like, of course. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
That person needs a raise. That was great.
It was a great, really cool. So, you know, it was
all the words.
He ended up coming to a show and hanging out. And then he's like, can I come up on stage with you guys and sing that song? And I was like, of course, sure. So, dude, I'm thinking he's going to walk out, you know, sing it for a second and just like, dude. He comes out and straight backs to backs with me into the mic and just starts belting like, hey, hey, hey. And it was so loud and so off key and just so aggressive. It was just like, whoa, dude. And he didn't leave. He just stayed there the whole time, just like eating it up. It was pretty awesome.
That's great. I was there. That was that High and Mighty Fest.
That's right. You were
there. Side stage, and right before he left, he did the thing with you guys, and he was about to leave, and I kind of felt bad, but I was like, look, I don't like to approach people, you know, like famous people, but I was like, come on, this is my only time ever.
Come on.
I was like, hey man, I'm such a huge fan. I've seen every episode. Saved by
Yeah,
the Bell.
for sure.
Huge fan, man. I was like, please. I wasn't just some bullshit. Oh, I saw you in the video. Like,
Yeah,
I'm a fan. So I was like, bro, and got a picture, and he was
photo.
very nice, and he just
Super nice. He was all about letting people have photos and all the good
for
shit.
sure, yeah. Let's see. For both you guys, being you guys who have traveled all over, what is your go-to place you have to eat on tour? Like when you go to Pittsburgh, I have to have Primanti Brothers, Christian pick.
Well, I guess it's where are you? You know,
Yeah.
I like to get like the local cuisine. You know, like if I'm in Philly, I'm getting a Philly cheesesteak. You know what I mean? It's like that. Like, I guess it's just where you're at. You know, it depends.
Yeah. I'm gonna just totally giving myself away here. I'm gonna get shit for this later. On the Eric Rachmani tour in December, we ended up in New York City, and we got there a day early, had a day off, and I wasn't feeling well. They wanted to go out and have some drinks and chill, and I was like, I'm just gonna stay and chill out because I was starting to feel under the weather, and I was gonna get some New York pizza, right? In my defense, I was gonna get some New York pizza, okay, and I ended up I was looking it up, and it was like $25 for like a medium or something. I'm like, man,
Oof.
I don't want to spend $25 on a pizza, right? I called Domino's, bro. It was like $8. I got a whole large, and it lasts me all night. And then I told them what happened. I knew they could say they gave me so much shit, dude.
Oh,
They gave me so much shit.
you got a Domino's in New York.
In New York, I know. I was like,
Oh,
so dumb. I'll put it out there. I don't give a shit. But yeah, they gave me so much shit for days about that.
that's
They didn't
so
let me live it down. But yeah, I mean, yeah,
I
like you said,
know.
it's kind of like where you are. You know, I don't know. I don't have like I mean, there's like Chiba Hut in Denver, which is great.
Yeah, that's a good spot.
Fort Collins, I think they have as well. You know, we try to hit like any sort of like legit like Mexican spot when we're in Southern California.
Oh yeah, they're
A
all
place
over.
where like everything's in Spanish. Like there's
Oh
no
yeah.
nobody speaking English. You know.
What we like to do too is just like ask people, like even the venue workers, like what's the dope local spot? You know,
Yeah.
try that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Danielle says, who can we expect to collab with after quarantine, or maybe one that's being planned in quarantine?
I got no collabs in the works right now, except for me and Rome trying to finish that. Jared just did that collab with Tropodelic, which coming out soon, which will be fire. And yeah, I got nothing set up right now, but I'm always open.
Nice. Yeah. I'm always working in here too. Like we said it the other day, like we should link up and do something. That'd be fun.
Yeah, for sure.
I just want to like come up with something cool and different. Like
Yeah.
doing my my solo shit. There's no expectations, I would think. There's no like real nobody's like, oh, this is the sound. Like I can do kind of whatever I want. You know?
Totally.
So,
Yeah.
I'm down to like mess around. So that'd be cool, man, to do some stuff together.
No, for sure. Well, we're talking about we're definitely doing another Rome and Duddy Friends and Family tour next year. So we'll have to have you come out. We'll do a song together so that we can play it on that tour. And yeah, that'll be awesome.
I would love that.
Yeah,
that'd be great. Let me get one more in here. We've been going 2 hours, and I don't want to keep you, man.
Yeah.
Jason Tudor says, what made you get into the clothing industry with the Cutlass?
You know what? My good friend Dean, he's been in that business his whole life. He was one of Hurley's head designers for like 12 years, and he wanted to start his own clothing line. And he hit me up and was like, "Hey, man, I want to do this clothing line. Here's my idea. Like, you want to be a part of it?" And I was just kind of like, "Fuck yeah, man." I love doing stuff, man. I love projects. I'm down for anything. I'll give anything a try, So that's kind of how it fell in. It was just a good buddy of mine, and he wanted to try and start it, and I was in, and we started just wrapping our heads around the idea and brainstorming and coming up with stuff, and it's just been growing ever since, and it's been fun. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Well, dude, thanks a lot for coming on to the show.
Dude, thanks for having me. That was great.
And thanks for spending so much time with us, man. I'm sure everybody here appreciates it.
Yeah, man, I'm super fucking busy right now.
Yeah. Calendar is packed.
Yeah.
But so hold on. Alexa, set the heat to 69. Furnace is right there. Thank you.
There you go.
So yeah, I really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, man, my pleasure.
So the show is pretty much about just like my experiences and my guest experiences, and sort of just kind of look for some sort of a nugget of wisdom or some advice, or it doesn't have to be anything crazy, but what would you say for anyone that's trying to get not just music but into the creative? um if somebody has a dream, a goal, and they're scared to do it or whatever, I mean, what do you say to those people?
Well, like we talked about a little bit in the beginning, like you're always going to be scared to try and do something new, but you gotta just start doing it. Take little baby steps to just get going, and then one thing I always tell people too, like, which is very important, which has always been huge for me, which I was blessed with, is like, if you're going to do something like a band or whatever that's going to involve other people, dude, make sure the people that you join up with and the people that you're going to start your company with or start your band with or whatever are got the same mindset as you, and positive, good energy people that are willing to work hard. Like, because, dude, if you surround yourself with just negative people that are just going to drag you down, like, that shit will fucking eat at you forever. Just like the people you surround yourself with and your team you put together is so freaking important, man. So if you got any weird feelings about someone, or you're just like, man, I know this isn't going to work in the back of my head, because just surround yourself with great, positive people. And that's just like, I was very lucky with my band members and everything. They're just all great fucking dudes that work hard, and we pick each other up. And if someone's having a rough time, we figure out how to help them. And that's fucking huge, man.
That
Build
is
your
huge.
community with awesome people. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's wonderful advice, man. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for taking us out on that, dude.
Dude. Yeah. No, my pleasure, man.
You heard it here first, people. Well, thanks for tuning in for episode 112 of
112,
yeah,
man.
112.
Nice. Hell yeah. That's awesome.
Tales from the Green Room podcast. Duddy B, go follow him on all the socials right there. There's his little @ sign.
Yeah.
Check him out on Instagram. And yeah, there it is right there. I'm sure these people would love to see you go live at some point, man. Just do some acoustic
Totally.
songs.
Yeah, I'm gonna. We're hooking up something right now with Dirty Heads. I think we're gonna do like a little Dirty Heads and Monster Energy live stream where we're gonna play like a full set. But I'm also gonna start just going live more myself and just jamming a couple acoustics here and there and
Cool, man.
talking with people. So yeah, stay
That's
tuned.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, make sure you guys follow and catch all that. But
Hell yeah, man.
and look for that Dirty Heads record sometime soon. I can't wait to hear the stuff, man.
Yeah, man. I'm excited to put it out, man. It's fun stuff. You guys are gonna dig it.
Hell yeah. Well, everybody, thanks again for watching, and we'll catch you soon.
Later, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.